Now, following the alleged bullying incident in Dowen College, Lagos, which led to the death of 12-year-old Sylvester Oromoni, the House of Representatives has mandated the Inspector General of Police to immediately take over the investigation, prosecution and punishment of the perpetrators of the identified heinous crime. The House also reacted to the death of 14-year-old student of Premier Academy, Lugbe Abuja, Karen Hapuk, who was reportedly raped and eventually died from complications. Lawmakers are disturbed that it's been 6 months since the incident and nothing tangible has been heard from law enforcement.
The House, in a motion of urgent public importance by Representative Unyime Idem, condemned in strong terms the recent incidents of inhuman treatment and abuses happening in the boarding schools across the country. The most recent resulting in the death of 12-year-old Sylvester Oromoni, a student of Dowen College, Lagos. The lawmakers want the 5 students alleged to be involved in the crime placed on the no-fly list to prevent them from leaving the country and are calling for proper regulation of boarding schools in the country as well as their health facilities.
That the social media has been agog in the last few days following the reports on Sylvester Oromoni, a 12-year-old boy who recently passed away on the 27th November 2021 while nursing multiple internal injuries alleged to have been sustained after he was beaten by his fellow students who were bullying him at a boarding school. The parents of the deceased said he was attacked for declining to join what he termed as the secondary school sport group, dominated by older boys at Dowen College in Lekki, Lagos. Some Nigerians on the social space have been voicing out their bitter experiences with boarding school system of oppression. A public analyst who spoke on the trending issue said bullying is a major pandemic in Nigeria boarding school today. The House resolved to condemn in strong terms the recent incidences of inhuman treatment and abuses happening in the boarding schools across the country. Urge the Federal Ministry of Education to set out guidelines for the operations of boarding schools across the country. Mandate the Inspector General of Police to immediately commission and take over the investigation, prosecution, and punishment of the perpetrators of the identified heinous crime.
I just want to add to the prayers of the motion that the newly created Safety Standard Committee and Committee on Education to conduct a review of safety regulations and guidelines in public schools. In this particular matter, there are 5 students that are involved, and all of them are a flight threat, and that their names should be placed on the no-fly list, and that the school, as shut down by Lagos State, will remain shut until investigations are over and the school is cleared of all these allegations, and that the death of young Sylvester should be investigated thoroughly.
There's something wrong with the regulatory authorities. They owe it a responsibility to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and to Nigerians to do proper oversight and regulation of these institutions. You cannot leave the boarding schools without proper regulation. So it is the responsibility of the regulatory authority to do what is right, to save Nigerians from this embarrassment. It's a huge embarrassment for those boarding schools to be converted to Curtis medium.
The House also noted another incident leading to the death of 14-year-old Karen Hapuk of Premier Academy, Lugbe, Abuja, on the 22nd day of June 2021, who died from alleged rape complication, and is disturbed that the matter is yet to be properly handled by the police.
The House is alarmed at the unwillingness of Premier Academy to uncover the truth behind Karen's death and the management's media denial of previous cases of sexual harassment of students in the institution, contrary to documentary evidence. The House is also alarmed at the lack of proactive and thorough investigation by the Nigeria Police Force, even after formal correspondence to the police by the deceased family's lawyer and the allegations by Amnesty International of harassment and threat to the lives of Karen's mother, Vivian Akpai, her family, and the leader of the coalition of gender-based violence responders and his family over their public campaigns and advocacy demanding justice for Karen. The House is disturbed that while the whole world recently observed the United Nations International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women on 25th November 2021 with the theme, Orange the World, End Violence Against Women Now, which marked the launch of the 16-day campaign, Unite to End Violence Against Women, from 25th November 2021 to 10 December 2021, Nigerian authorities do not appear to recognize their obligation to adopt and implement appropriate measures to ensure women and girls are protected from all forms of violence, including rape and sexual harassment, considering the nation's ratification of several domestic, regional, and international protocols and charters on women's rights, ending violence against women, and other human rights laws, including Section 34 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, which guarantees that no Nigerian shall be subjected to torture or inhuman or degrading treatment. The House therefore resolves to urge the Nigeria Police Force to thoroughly investigate mysteries surrounding the death of Karen, allegations of harassment and threat to the life of Karen's family and the leader of the coalition of gender-based violence and his family, and carry out a DNA test, recover spermatozoa, and test Premier Academy staff to identify anyone liable and bring him to justice.
The House observed a minute of silence in honor of the deceased students.